It was late September and I was once again headed out into nature for an adventure. Sweden has 30 national parks and today I was headed for one not far from my home. Tyresta National Park is situated inside the greater Stockholm area, easily accessible by car and even accessible through the local bus lines. With such an accessible place, it tends to be rather busy. Today was Sunday, and I was planning on staying overnight in one of the shelters, thinking that since tomorrow was a Monday, maybe the shelters would be free, especially since the forecast was one of heavy rain. Much of my cunning plan failed even before I arrived. Not only was the parking lot crammed with cars, a second parking lot only in use during the peak season was also nearly full. I've been to this park many times before, and honestly, I've only seen it this busy once or twice. Well, I was here, so I might as well get to hiking. The plan was to start out on one of the common loops of the area, then split off along a longer distance trail that cuts through the entire park and which has a beautiful campsite at a lake. If that didn't work out, plan B was to try to hike across the national park to a second campsite on another lake. I've visited both places before, but never connected between them, and there are no really good paths to take. The old forests of Tyresta are beautiful, but as I hiked it was hard to enjoy the moment with constant activity and the yells of children out with their parents echoing down the trail. While walking across a long wooden bridge, I spotted a hornet and decided to try to film it. A challenge for me since I have a phobia of such insects. I reached the first lake on the trail, passing so many other hikers it felt almost like a crowd. One of the trails through the area is called the Stroller Trail, a wide, flat trail meant for you to be able to take your child out in a stroller. The trail I was hiking coincided with that trail, and my hope was that when I left it, activity would dwindle a bit. I reached a crossroads and took the more natural trail out, climbing a small incline with plenty of roots. There were certainly less of a crowd here, but I also certainly wasn't alone.
It's amazing. There's silence. Never mind. Children screaming in the distance. Holy crap, there's so much people here. I've never seen so many people here. Still beautiful though. It's my hope that they're all on a Sunday afternoon hike and they'll all go home. Whew. Holy crud.
As I approached the campsite, I tried to hold on to hope, which was then swiftly shattered. While the screaming children were on their way out, a group of hikers had already set up camp and were busy experimenting with using hot rocks from the campfire to cook. Earlier, while on my way to the national park, I had stopped and bought some extra snacks on a whim. Now I was grateful for them as I sat down for a bit and pondered my situation. I was considering asking them if they'd mind sharing the site, but as if to preemptively answer that question, the thump of electronic music started streaming out of a speaker. While I had accepted that with such a popular place I might need to share a campsite, I was here for the peace of nature, not for the techno. So I decided to move on to plan B.
Okay, I've lost the crowd, which is good. I'm now walking, it was kind of the main trail through the area, hoping to find some unmarked trail up ahead here to turn off, go east-northeast to Långsjön, where the other proper campsite is. So wish me luck.
My car has an app connection, and with signal all throughout the national park, this is when I got a message about the passenger side window not being fully closed. I really didn't want to go back through all the crowds and add many kilometers to my hike, but the forecast said heavy rain, and I didn't know how open the window was. After some pondering, I decided to keep going, hoping the window was only slightly ajar. It wouldn't be the first time that happened due to a somewhat unfortunate button placement. Soon, I reached the junction I was going for.
Okay. Here we are. I mean, there is some form of trail here, but that doesn't look too doable. Maybe up ahead here, though. Well, I mean, this is directly where we need to go. Both the other available paths are very long way around, and there is a small trail here. Maybe it's just a game trail, who knows, but I'm taking it. More of an adventure than I'd planned for, but hey, at least there's not going to be any crowds here.
Caught behind Venetian blinds, had to reach for the city lights. This ain't where I belong. Hey, look at me, man, what I become.
Wow. Lost his grip.
I've been running east, looking for a sunset, digging deep since '99. What I thought was gone was sitting in my pocket in plain sight all along. I think it's time for me to go, burn all bridges. All I know, I got lost along the way, fell between the foam, pulling stitches. Time to let go, so come what may.
After my hike up the High Coast Trail this summer, I had been thinking about what my next adventure could be, and came to the conclusion that with 30 national parks in Sweden, it would be great to make a goal out of visiting all of them, and capturing it all on video. So here I was, and never could I have imagined that it would involve a crowd in the woods, even here far off the main marked trails. I was now heading to Långsjön, literally translated as the Long Lake, which I suppose is a fair name. It is a very narrow and long lake after all. I followed a small trail that was decently easy to see and walk, but eventually ended up more or less vanishing into the undergrowth just before reaching that larger trail I was going to.
Well, that was an adventure. Somewhere up here on this rock should be the trail I'm looking for. Oh, nice. Well, I'm not too far from that campsite now. This feels like quite a wild shot, given how incredibly many people there were on the other side of this park. But this is the less accessible side and the less popular side that we're coming into now. So maybe there's a chance, at least, of if there are people there, they're not so obnoxious. That's all I want. At least at this point.
This trail was easy to walk, but I had a good while left to go, and I was getting quite tired given that I had hiked a lot further than I had intended. The last part around the lake was rather marshy, with some logs laid across the muddier bits. With the beautiful lake glimmering in the sunlight to my right, I approached the campsite.
See it. Little people.
There were indeed people, a Finnish-speaking family and their cute and very energetic dog, who seemed to all be packing up as I arrived. I sat down to rest for a while, and soon found myself alone.
Got ourselves a site. That's fantastic. This is beautiful. I guess I set up, make fire, make food. It's gonna be awesome. We have some good food here.
I set up my Amok drummer between two of the trees towards the water, and took extra care to get the tarp secured properly. The forecast for the night was some serious rain and possibly thunder. Then, time to think about food.
Alright, time to do something about this mess.
Firewood is provided at these sites in pretty good chunks, and you're not allowed to burn anything else taken from nature, which means there's a fair bit of work needed to get something that can get going. To be truthful, the crowds of people during the day had taken a toll on my mental state, and while I worked to get the fire going, I found myself questioning why I do these things. This was a true low point.
Alright, we got fire. Time to start thinking about cooking. It is 6 in the evening. Kind of nice. Good time for dinner. I brought proper food this time, so welcome to cooking with Lime. Well, it's not the best cutting board I've ever had, but it'll do. Maybe that's maybe throw the onion in the dirt. Really good. That works. That's not bad at all. A lot of onion. I don't think this through. Maybe I didn't think this through. Alright, it's cooking time. See how this goes. Bit of oil. A good sizzle. Some salt on that. Alright, so while that is going on, we'll use our fantastic cutting board here to cut the bacon. I don't think I can fit this. We'll use half of it and save some for breakfast in the morning. Very nice. Oh, here we go. Alright, let's prep the steak somewhere. I guess we'll just use the bag. I'll have to carry this out. Those coals are looking pretty dang hot.
let's try it out. Right in the middle, and it's a good sizzle. A good airflow. Alright, so that I finished this bread down. It's gonna need to rest. I don't have like a plate with me, so I guess I'll use my pot lid. Running out of space. I need the pan. So if I drip off just a little bit, then good enough. Right, so I'm gonna try to take some of this bread. Maybe let's cut it in two, and then half that, and I'm gonna try to toast it. Trusty cutting board time again. This knife is sharper than my kitchen knives at home, so. Oh, wow. Okay, time to see how this meat turned out. It could have been on another minute. That's definitely good. I don't know. This isn't gonna fit. Should put the onions on first. We'll do that for the next one. Look at that though. Oh, it's so good. Alright. I'm gonna stop blabbing and start munching. The food did wonders for my mood, and as I ate and the sun set, I started to get back into my outdoors mindset and enjoying things more. Starting to get pretty dark. It's pretty nice on this camera though, you can't really tell. But tomorrow's gonna be raining. This camera isn't waterproof, so I need to pack it down. I carried it in my hand all the way in, but my backpack is basically full of sleeping bag. My sleeping bag is enormous. It's not the one I used on the hike. It's a shoulder season one. It's much warmer. Nice, but it's so large. So I'm probably gonna have to get a new one just to have something that packs down smaller. So I hope I've eaten enough that, yeah, I can pack down the camera. So I better eat that last piece, I guess. I'm pretty full. They were so nice though. Well, it is getting properly dark, and I've got my headlight on, and it's turning itself off. So I put in brand new batteries before I left for the High Coast Trail, but then we had basically midnight sun. So yeah, I used none of it. So today is the first time I turn it on since putting new batteries in, and apparently they're running out. I don't know. So I've had to turn it down to the lower mode, which is fine, I guess. So I'm just a little worried that it's gonna turn off again fully. So I'm kind of cleaning out the pot now, boiling up some water, and then just to like clean any garbage in that got left in. Trying to sort through all the things here, just stow everything away so I'm ready for bed for when this does completely shut off, because yeah, I don't want to be left in the dark. I can light stuff up with my phone, and I gotta get a new headlight. I gotta get one that I can charge through USB, because I have a power bank, but this is like AAA batteries, so yeah, no luck. So anyway, I might catch up with you when I'm in the hammock again. As the last light faded on the horizon and the fire burned low, I lay down on one of the benches and watched the stars and the still clear skies above, finally able to fully enjoy the moment. As I lay there, a shooting star appeared and I felt blessed to witness its moment of light in the sky. Rather soon though, it was time for bed.
Alright, eventful day. In the hammock now, it's pitch black outside. And yeah, feels pretty good. We'll see how tomorrow turns out with the rain. Should be a nice gear check. Anyway, wish me luck, and good night.
I woke in the middle of the night to the sound of heavy raindrops against the tarp. Not a bad sound to fall back asleep to, and I slept really well.
Patches of blue sky and thunder. It's not what I expected to wake up to today.
I stayed in the hammock for a bit, and soon the dripping of rain started back up, only for the heavens to open completely soon afterwards.
That didn't last long. Alright. Wow. There's been some hail in this too. It's lovely. I'm gonna stay under the tarp and pack up for a bit. And I'm gonna move over to the shelter and make breakfast there, I think. Holy smokes. We got a bit of a break in the rain. So I packed up everything except the tarp. Kind of moved everything to the shelters and pack everything into the stuff sacks and whatever. What a morning. We'll see if it stops even more and then I can pack up the tarp. I'm in no rush with that. Just gotta fix all this stuff first and then make breakfast. Big camera's now in the bag. I also found a problem with the settings on the microphone, so I hope that hasn't ruined stuff too much. I guess I'll see when I edit this. Alright, check this out. This is all rainwater. I just basically put this on one of the runoffs of the tarp. Wow, not even while the worst of it was going on. It's just like when it was starting to calm down. So holy smokes. But, you know, that's a lot better than the lake water actually. So let's make breakfast out of that. These are just next to the camp, and they're all over here. There's blueberries, or I believe what you call bilberries in some places. We call them blueberries in Sweden. Because they're what we have everywhere. And they're super nice. And they're actually pretty good. They're not like perfect. But taste good. So we're gonna grab a bunch of them and add to our breakfast. Look at this. Oh, that's so good.
Foraging for mushrooms and berries is allowed in the park for your own consumption.
Alright, check these out. This is a recipe for pancakes. You're keeping up rainwater pancake mix that you forage in your neighborhood store. And then some freshly picked blueberries. How you make them? Swedish pancakes traditionally are very thin compared to like American style pancakes.
I think this is ending up somewhere in between, but I guess we'll find out. They were nice, very, very thin, like paper thin pancakes. They take forever to make though. Kind of works. These are good because they keep the heat in, so it makes your gas consumption a lot less, a lot lower. This could be a complete failure. We'll see. Doesn't seem hot. I'm just gonna pour it all in. One big pancake. Well, it's bubbling. At least in the center. Bubbling around the edge there too. We'll see. Let's see how horrible this turns out. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to move it around to get it to. This would have been much nicer over a fire, or the thing could have been evenly heated. Oh man. Come on. I mean, okay. That could have been worse. It could have been better too, but it could have been worse. For sure. And since it was pretty good all the way through, I think I just need to kind of... Yeah, I just need to move this around a little bit, get it to get a nice surface on the other side, and then we're probably pretty good. I should have so brought a plate. How am I going to make bacon now? I guess I should make bacon first. It's so hard to wait. Okay. I'm gonna eat this directly out of here. Brought some maple walnut syrup, I think. Yeah, that's what it is. Let's try a bit without first. Just some of them blueberries. Yeah, should have made this in 2 batches. Would have been much better. It's still edible though. Let's try it with some of this. I'm not sure if I'll have the bacon. This is a lot of fruit. Oh, that is good. That pretty solid wilderness breakfast, although it's debatable how wild this is, I guess. Zest as an airplane passes overhead. Well, that's done. I certainly don't need no bacon after all of that. That's good. It's time to pack away this camera, though. It's not raining right now. I'm sure we'll start again, and even if not, it's dripping from all the trees and stuff. Well, I've started packing up. The rain is back with a vengeance. So that's good in a way. This trip is kind of a gear check in a way. Check out that my new rain pants kind of do the job. Oh my goodness. And a me check in other ways. See that how I'm doing. My knee does hurt, so that's one learning. Holy smokes. Well, I will need to also take off basically all my clothes to de-layer, because I'm wearing too much for hiking. It's great with all of these layers for chilling at camp, but once I start moving, I'm going to overheat immediately if I don't do that. So I'm lucky, very glad I have this shelter, so I can do that without getting rained on. Yeah, it'll definitely be a test. It'll be a good test. I've had a bit of a second thought. I think I'm gonna get pretty cold in this, even if I do have rain clothes. So I'm going to keep a few of the layers. I'm gonna put away my puffy. I'm gonna keep my underlay, my woolen underlayer on. This looks pretty gnarly. It's just as bad as the High Coast Trail last day right now. I mean, look at the puddles. Yeah, I'm gonna keep some layers on. I kind of do need a bathroom break, but I really don't want to go, out in this. So, I guess we'll see along the way. Time to pack up. I've got most stuff stowed away. I'm just doing the final packing here. Trekking poles are out for this one. Yep. It's time to leave. Just gotta put my gloves on and grab the trekking poles, but it's actually clearing up a little bit. So we'll see. Okay, I'm gonna backtrack. Because we're just gonna make sure that we left the place in the shape that we came here. Or better. Yeah, that knee's gonna be hurting. Hey, little birdo. Might be the same one that was jumping around up there at the camp before. I'm almost sad that it stopped raining before I was ready to leave. Because I kind of wanted to check, but I guess it's still dripping fairly. And I have been walking around up there, so it's fine. Ooh, this is slippery. Hiking yesterday was 6 kilometers, almost exactly, I think. So, I'm expecting something like that on the way out too. And that is me. I checked my rain cover on my backpack is on and almost falling. Good work, Lime. This might be the end of the long lake here. Thank you, lake. You've been long. It wasn't the end of the long lake. Ooh! Wow! That's a lot of mushrooms. Oh, that's cool. I just took off not just one but 2 layers on my upper body because I'm still wearing an extra layer on my lower body, so hopefully that averages out. Look at those trees in the water though, and the lily pads. That's beautiful. Beaver's been hard at work on that one. Yep. Whoa. Oh god. Okay. I'm getting some doubts about this boardwalk. That's completely rotten through it there. Let's go here instead. Yeah, I didn't want to walk on stuff that does that. Oh. Okay. Well, apparently we're 6.5 away. That's a bit unexpected. Staying fun. I think that's where I meant to go. There's also a trail that way, which I think I expected. We've gone 1.5, so we've got an 8 kilometer hike today. Well, I was not expecting this long of a hike. Certainly, I was hoping that one of the camps the other way would be usable yesterday. So that would have been 3.5 kilometers in, and then 3.5 or maybe 4.5 out, depending on which way I took.
Instead, I hiked 6 in yesterday, which was kind of fine. I'm really happy I bought like an extra snack on the way out here. But if I have an 8-kilometer hike out now, I'm regretting not having any snacks for that way. The only thing I have is 3 slices of bacon or something like that, which means I'm probably gonna run a little low on energy. But I did just have an amazing and pretty big pancake, so that's at least good. Right, that's the first sighting of the next lake. That's Stenjön, or Stone Lake. It's a puddle. It's more of, I think, what you would call a pond in English. There isn't any distinction in Swedish, it's all lakes. Okay, glad I stopped. We came in on a different angle than I had expected here. So this is actually the way, and we're going to be walking along this shore of the lake for a little bit, and then we'll be turning right. That's quite nice though.
From this point on, I was walking trails I'd never explored before, heading into a very interesting area. In 1999, a fire broke out near this area and quickly spread to a significant portion of the park. At the time, it was speculated that it started as a careless campfire by some tourists, but the true cause of the fire was never confirmed. Before it could be extinguished, over 10% of the park's total area had burned down, and now I was headed straight into that burn area for the first time ever.
Yep. Is this me, or does this look like a little face and there's arms and legs here? Like a little baby haircut? Not allowed to burn babies. Oh, wow. I gotta show you this. And there's another burning baby. I mean, sorry, not burning baby. Can you see it? The burn area. There's a few older trees still standing at the front, almost at the water. And then there's all younger trees. And you can even, I don't know how much this captures, but you can even see some dead, burnt out trees standing way taller than the rest of the trees. Oh, that's cool. We'll get to see a lot of it up front soon. More beavers have been fun. I guess they didn't like the trail markers. Was that bird? Yeah, bird. See you. Sorry for disturbing your place, bird. Nice. What's funny about this national park is that there are a lot of nature reserves around. And there are a lot of like just animals in those and animals in. I even have roe in our in the backyard sometimes, and hares and stuff. I don't know. I've seen a lot of animals out in some of the nature reserves, even the ones where people just go, you know, the places that are more meant for running and then hiking and experiencing nature. I don't think I've ever seen any larger animals in here. Like I'm not even sure I've seen a squirrel in here. 6 left. How is it 6 still? We've done 2.1, 2.2. Alright, this boardwalk doesn't look optional, but it also looks newer, so I guess that's fine. I've even got stairs. And new wood to make it even better. Nice. Oh wow. So we're definitely in the burn now. Maybe I can show you better from up here. Yeah. So we're definitely in the burn. See all these young trees, and then that one old burnt out birch there. And that sign is probably there before the burn. Wow. Rain starting again. So I guess hood on. Well, this is cool. I did not think I'd get to experience a new part of this national park on this trip. That's nice. I pack cover was coming off, so I had to stop. Took a short break here, only a few minutes. True to form, I am being bad at taking breaks. Yeah, the trail goes that way, but I gotta check this out. Okay, so this is the border between the national park and the nature reserve. Oh. Huh. The one survivor. And then here, some of the victims. Oh, this is cool. Look at that rock formation. There's something ground its way into the rock. Oh, wow. What a viewpoint. Well, since I am so absolutely garbage at taking breaks, let's take a break. We're done 3 kilometers, so starting to approach halfway. I'm done 1.5 hours. Anyway, now it's definitely break time. This is an awesome spot. Okay, break time over. It's raining a little bit more again. It was nice sitting here though, even in the rain. I'm now halfway through the good batteries for the GoPro, but then I have like 3 left of the old, less good ones, so I think we're fine. Also, I recorded a whole bunch this morning before we started hiking, so should be good. It's fine. I'm recording ridiculous amounts of footage. I am basically keeping the GoPro on all the time. This is the new one, the GoPro Hero 11. I'm basically sort of stress testing my gear, which is like if I was doing a longer thing, a longer hike, then it would be ridiculous to capture this much material. And I guess future me, who's gonna have to edit all of this, is not gonna be very grateful, but I mean, screw that guy.
At this point, finally, I heard voices of other humans for the first time for the day. And of course, we ended up meeting on a section where passing was difficult.
There's a, like, 100 meters, there's a moose on the
Oh really?
rock. Yeah.
Thank you.
The trail led up an exposed rock surface where indeed a moose was contentedly chewing on leaves from a sapling right by the side of a trail mark.
Wow. Right in my path.
I stood for a while watching it, obviously aware of my presence but seemingly ignoring me.
Well, I've been standing here just watching her for a bit. She seems pretty chill, just eating some leaves and stuff. I don't want to disturb her though. I think there's a parallel path going like a little bit over here, or at least some exposed rock. So I'm gonna move that way. And hopefully reconnect to this path because it's pretty close to where she's standing. Problem is, I don't know where the path goes. Looks like it goes down that way. Oh, hello. Without a care in the world. I guess that's how it is when you're a little larger standing all around. Oh, that's cool. How wild is that? I've seen no other human being today for almost 2 hours of hiking. And then the first people I meet are like, there's a moose back there in 100 meters. What? And then there's a moose. Right after I talked about how I never see wildlife in this national park. What? That's amazing. This was so worth it. Alright, so we're definitely out of the burn area now. These trees are a lot older. It's kind of nice in a way because this path seemed to have gotten a lot easier walked. And it also should mean that I should be getting close to reconnecting to the trails on this side. Towards the parking and the entrance where I came in, which is nice because my knee is not terrible, but it is hurting. I wonder what would have happened if they hadn't been there. If they hadn't seen the moose and told me, I would probably have just bumbled right into it because it was 2-3 meters off the trail, and it was like from the angle I approached, it was behind a cluster of trees. And you know, I pay a lot of attention to my footing and stuff right now because of the wet rocks, so you spend a good amount of your time looking down. I might not noticed until I was right next to it. So I hiked 130 kilometers on the High Coast Trail, so no larger animals, but 30 minutes away from my home in a national park in Stockholm. I see a moose. And I get really close to the moose. Alright, well, yep. That just makes sense. 2 hours, 4.5 kilometers. So we're speeding up a little bit. And this is looking good. Where the heck are we? Oh, okay. Down 6. Oh, I know where we are. So this has been here for a while. This is weird. So that's our exit. That's where we're going. It's 3.5 kilometers that way. But that's an awful trail. Like, I know, I've walked that many times, and it's full of roots and rocks and stuff. And the other way, like, it is a loop. And it's a loop of 6 kilometers. So the other way would be closer. It's 2.5 that way. And all smooth. But there's no sign that way. That's so weird. What does this sign say? I completely missed this. Warning. Broken boardwalks, staircases, etc. Okay. Yeah, I kind of noticed. It was fine though. But thank you for the notice on the opposite end when I came out. Alright, so we're taking the shorter path and the easier path. And we're getting out of here. Oh, that's cool. I'm so happy we got to explore that. Oh, and the moose. Oh, that's so good. We will be passing a shelter here too, or a rest stop or whatever. One of those fire pit places. We should definitely actually stop there. At this point, we're way back in familiar territory for me. Ooh. That tree might have had a bit of an accident. I've walked here so many times. It is a very nice place. But yeah, it is also more busy. This is part of the stretch that we walked yesterday. Now we're on something called Bilsjöslingen. This is Bilsjön, which is, I don't know, Bil Lake. No idea what the bil even means, if it means something. This up here is where we separated up yesterday and walked up here to the other campsite that was taken. So, I guess from here, we're sort of more or less back on track. Although yesterday, when I came this way, I had kind of intended to take the other way back. I should really take a break here though. I've been going for 2 hours 17 now. Really having a break every hour is not a bad idea. I'm getting properly hungry though, which is fine, I guess, since I'm coming out of here pretty soon. Okay, so we left 2 kitchen knives here. I mean, they are going to rust real quick. There's no way I'm carrying knives out of here though. Leaving no new knives behind, at least. Here comes the rain. Yep. Nice. So we got some of this before we ended the journey too. Don't mind actually. Everything seems to be holding up absolutely stellar. The only thing that's getting wet is my hands. I took off my waterproof gloves because I was getting too warm. I'm still kind of a little bit too warm, so I don't mind getting a little bit wet. But yeah, bring it on. Turn it up a notch, sure. The contrast couldn't be larger. Yesterday I walked here, dismayed by the amount of people, screaming children. Today I've seen this far a grand total of 4 other people. I am looking forward to getting to that car now. Rain is fine. Would have liked to have my gloves, but hey, whatever, 500 meters left. Yeah, I'm getting pretty tired and very hungry. Alright, back at the trailhead. Parking lot looks a little bit more empty today. Yeah, it's a bit different. There we are. And now the only question remaining is, how bad is this window? Could be worse. Could be worse. Alright. First of many, or well, potentially second of many, national parks to come. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been an adventure.